Instagram live session this evening, and here I'll be talking about a couple of things, regarding the topic we started last week. And if you remember, we started on the cash flow quadrant in the fashion industry, where we covered items like the different quadrants, the 4 quadrants that are in the fashion industry. And I went into the session talking about each of them, and promised today that we'll start on a different note. The interesting thing is, when we had the session last week, I actually forgot to record to save the session, on my device. So we don't have the video for last week Instagram live. For my friends on Facebook, I hope my voice is clear. Please, on Facebook, if you can hear my voice loud and clear, please indicate so that I can be sure that we are on track technical wise. Okay, this evening I'm going to be talking about the cash flow quadrant in the fashion industry, and for this I want to delve into the 4 quadrants that generate income for people in the fashion industry. Hey, how are you there? On Instagram I have Omote Show Korea. She's here live. Thank you, you're welcome. Abimbola, yeah, I can see the thumbs up. Thank you. Luakemi Ajayi. Wow, and James Adekoya Kenny watching on Facebook. Please, those of us on Facebook, you can indicate in the comment section if you can hear me loud and clear. Acholono Oluchi, nice to have you here. Wow, Clear Vision Classic Fashions, you're welcome. Wow, thank you for coming around. I really appreciate the support we're getting here. Okay, like I said, today I'm going to be continuing on where we started last week. The topic on the discussion this evening is the cash flow quadrant in the fashion industry. The heading of this Instagram live in the graphics that we shared indicated that the topic is cash flows in quadrants, which means that for you to attract money in this fashion industry, it is required that you understand how to operate in quadrants. Money just doesn't just flow to people anyhow. Okay, Clear Vision Classic Fashions, you're welcome. It's a pleasure having you here. Uti Blessing Filma, welcome on Facebook. Wow, nice to see you guys. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, right? The cash flow quadrant of the fashion industry are blocks of income generation, which determines where you are at the moment and how you can progress in attracting finances, in attracting money, in attracting growth to your fashion business. So this evening, I'm going to be breaking them down for us. If you happen to have checked my Instagram feed, when you check my handle, you will see that I used a nice square to generate a pictorial view of the 4 quadrants that make up the cash flow quadrant in the fashion industry, and they are starting with they are starting with the employed fashion professional. That is the first quadrant in which you can operate in the fashion industry to attract cash flow to you. The second quadrant is the self-employed fashion entrepreneur quadrant. Now, that is the second quadrant, which means that you can graduate from working as an employed fashion professional to becoming self-employed. And when you become self-employed, you are no longer a fashion professional by discipline, by job function. You are now taking up multiple roles, which is why we use the term entrepreneur, to target in. Okay, that said, the third quadrant is for fashion business owners. That is, people who have business systems and business structures to run their fashion outfits, whether they are there or they are not around. the business keeps running smoothly. Can you say higher levels that we get to? So when you're a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, you are no more different from any self-employed professional out there. Just that you are no longer working for a corporate organization. You are not working for a boss. You are your own boss. Now, you can be a self-employed fashion entrepreneur with a lot of staff working for you and have the impression that you are a fashion business owner, when in fact you are not yet a fashion business owner. I will clarify this evening. The final quadrant, right, for generating cash flow is the fashion investor. The fashion investor is the fourth quadrant. So let's look at it in the form of revenue generation, in the form of progress, seeing your business start from scratch till it becomes an entity, an enterprise, a multinational, if it were, it's as far as your eyes can see. Now, having said this, I've just done a quick rundown for us of the four quadrants of the fashion, the four quadrants of the fashion industry's cash flow. Now, I'll repeat them in the order that they come. The first of them is the employed fashion professional. Employed fashion professional. On Facebook, I'd appreciate if I can get somebody helping me out in the comment section, typing out key points that I'm making. The same applies on Instagram, right? So that those just joining us can scroll through the comment section and catch up with us. Okay, so like I was saying, right, the first quadrant is the employed fashion professional. Second quadrant is the self-employed fashion entrepreneur. The third quadrant is the fashion business owner. And the fourth quadrant is the fashion investor. I'll start with the fashion investor just to do it, from top to bottom breakdown. Now, a fashion investor is someone who has interest in the fashion industry as an investor. This person or organization already have cash flow. They already have enough cash to invest in fashion businesses or to invest in other financial vehicles that can make their money work for them. What I'm saying in essence is that if you are in the category of the fashion investor, it means you have money. You've got loads of cash. You are looking for how to make your money work for you. Now, it can be by investing in other fashion businesses or by investing in financial vehicles like the stock market, in treasury bills and the likes. Or it could be as a venture capitalist. That is, you pull funds together with other people who have funds, right? Money that they don't know what to do with, and they are looking for things to invest in. Now, you put money together, right, as investors, and invest in businesses that have prospects. They could be in the fashion space, they could be outside of the fashion space. What matters is that your money is working for you. If you fall into this category, then you are a fashion investor. Now, that is the highest level you can be in terms of generating cash flow for yourself in the fashion industry. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that your money is working for you at this level. You are not chasing after money anymore. You are trying to live a significant life. You are trying to make money work for you so that you can live life on your own terms, pursue your dreams and the likes. That is the fashion investor space. You don't just get there. You have to start from somewhere. But before you get to become a fashion investor, you need to be making lots of money. Now, making the lots of money starts with you being a proper fashion business owner, which is the next quadrant, a little below the fashion investor space. What does that mean? It means that you have created business systems. Business systems are the building blocks for business structure. Business structure means that you have documented your business processes, and in documenting your business processes, you've been able to come up with a structured way of guiding the day-to-day operation of your business, such that when somebody new joins your organization, your business, right, they can be taken through that documentation and they know for sure what to do per time. Now, business documentation has got to do, business systems have got to do with you identifying the key component areas of your business operation, from sales to production to logistics and delivery to marketing, and the legacy systems as well, right? And we'll come into that. I'll dig deeper into that when I get to the fashion business owner space. For now, I'm just doing a rundown. When you are a fashion business owner, you have systems and structures in place to make your business run smoothly, whether you are there or not. That is the hallmark of a fashion business owner. You want to be able to build your business to such a point that money keeps coming in, alerts keep coming to your corporate account every other day, even while you are sleeping in the bed. Yeah, it is possible. Let's not limit ourselves. It is very, very possible. Yeah, that said, let's go a step lower. That is to the self-employed fashion entrepreneur quadrant. Now, this is the space of those that are their own bosses. Yeah, they are own bosses. They don't work for nobody. They operate their own business on their own terms. Yeah, these people are usually those that strike off from their own, and we have a lot of them in Nigeria. Yeah, we have a lot of self-employed fashion entrepreneurs. Now, self-employed aspect of the nomenclature, that is the self-employed fashion entrepreneur nomenclature. The self-employed aspect deals with everything that has to do with you employing yourself to run your own business for a start, and then growing to such a point where you can now take on other people to work with you. So those are some of the beautiful things, that go on when you're into the self-employed space. As a fashion entrepreneur, it means that you are into fashion to identify problems that you can solve for a large body of people. Because in business, if there isn't a big enough market for you, you will soon be out of job. Simply put, you'll soon be out of job. However, when you see opportunities to solve problems for many people, you can now build a business. And in building that business, oftentimes you start on your own. As the business grows and you get, customers coming in and orders are increasing, and you need to, get more earns because of the volume of work that you are getting, then the aspect of team building comes in. I'll come to that shortly. But then I'm breaking it down from the fashion investor space to the fashion business owner space, and now the self-employed fashion entrepreneur. The self-employed fashion entrepreneur is a hustler. Yeah, they are neck deep in the work of making their business succeed. Tusha Free Couture, nice to have you here. Clevision Classic Fashions, hi. Christiana Ozio Mukolu and Obeida Sonia, you're welcome on board. Thank you for coming here live. Yeah. Then the final and the first quadrant, which is the employed fashion professional. That is the starting point for most people. Now, let me bring it out. I've broken it down to us, from the topmost to the basic. Yeah. So now I don't want to say to the lowest, because none is lower than the other. They just have opportunities, that differ. Okay, that said, let's break it down. Today I'm going to be talking more about the employed fashion professional and the self-employed fashion entrepreneur, so that we can see the dynamics of how it goes, how business flows, across those quadrants. If you are an employed fashion professional, it means that you are a specialist in an area and you are in paid employment. Hey, Ugo Mabala, you're welcome. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me recap. If you are an employed fashion professional, it means you are a specialist in some areas, in some technical areas in fashion, and you are under paid employment. That is, somebody is responsible for your monthly income. You are being paid a salary. It could be part-time basis, it could be full-time basis. Either way, you are under somebody's employ. You are not responsible for the activities that lead to sales, that generate income for the organization. You are not responsible for that. Yours is to come in and play your role, your designated role, and at the end of the month, you are entitled to to a paycheck, or if it's a weekly wages contract that you have, fine. That said, let's look deeper. Now, when we call you a specialist, right, in an area, it means that you are bringing to the table your set of skills. For this reason, you are tagged a professional. When you work in a fashion house as a cutter or pattern drafter, you are a specialist. You are a professional. And then you have a role to play. You have a role to play in the value chain in the organization, especially in the production space. Now, if you are employed in an organization, a fashion house, as their business manager, that means you have the role to play as a supervisor, so to speak, with the oversight function of every aspect of the business. If you are employed in the same fashion house as a marketer, you are working to bring in sales. If you are employed in a fashion store as a floor manager or sales rep, you have a specific professional duty to the organization as designated in your job function. Yep. So people that are in the employed fashion professional space usually have a skill set that they tender, to get a job. Then when they are now employed, they can now do what? Grow. They can invest in themselves, in their personal development until such a time where they can strike up from their home or start a side hustle or rise in the corporate ladder, on the corporate ladder of the organization. So far, what I pointed out is that in terms of increasing your income working in a fashion outfit, in a fashion firm, in a fashion studio, in a fashion business, or whatever name you call the organization you work with, there are three options for you to rise in terms of income earning, and the career prospects. And the first of them could be going through the ladder, the corporate ladder of the organization you are in. Unfortunately, here in Nigeria, the problem is that most of the time there are no organizational structures that a staff can hope to rise through. Everything is usually muddled up. It doesn't matter whether it's the big name designer or the guy with a roadside tailor shop. It doesn't matter. Most of the times in Nigeria, what we found out is the largest percentage of people that run fashion houses don't have organizational structure. This is also part of the reason why there's a high turnover of tailors in paid employment. When someone is working for your organization and doesn't have a guarantee or a possible career path they can go through, that has a measurable income increase, how do you expect them to stay with you for long? They are not slaves. Now, that aside, you, the employed fashion professional, regardless of your role, you need to continually invest in self-education. Now, please, if you are in paid employment in a fashion organization, be it a fashion house, a garment factory, be it a fashion school, or fashion accessory designer outfit and what have you, you owe it to yourself to continually invest in your self-education. You need to educate yourself in these areas, the skill that got you employed. For example, if you are employed as a fashion or illustrator, you don't have to limit yourself to paper drawings. You need to upgrade to AutoCAD, to CAD drawing, that's computer aided design software, for you to enhance your skills in fashion illustration. Now, working as a fashion illustrator is not the only job role you can take. you can take on and expand in. You can also look for other ways in which the same skill function, the same skill set rather, can be invested in other things. For example, a fashion illustrator that does hand sketching. Naturally, fashion designers will need you to do their sketches, for their clients. Now you can upgrade to become a commercial fashion illustrator in paid employment, which means that your fashion house now takes on jobs of creating commercial designs for designers out there who need help, with their fashion designs. Now, you could also upgrade, like I said, to the CAD system, where you are using the CAD software to deliver your services, your skills. And then you could also upgrade, right, to working with bulk garment factories, or work, and those could happen as a side also while you're in paid employment, for example, in a fashion school, where you're teaching fashion illustration. So this brings me to the second area in which you can increase your skill, your income, earning capacity. However, before I talk about the second area, let me just nail it more, because in my notepad, one of the things I wrote is you need to develop multiple technical skills aside from the one that you were employed with. So if you started with paper sketching when you got employed, please upgrade to CAD. From there, upgrade to other things that you can offer, other applications of your skill sets that you can render for your organization, so that you will become indispensable to the organization. See, if you want to command big income, if you want to command increase, in your earnings, in your pay pack, you need to be indispensable to the organization you are working with. You don't become indispensable by way of staying long in the employ of your organization. So because you spend 5 years in your organization does not mean that you should get promotion naturally. Who says you should? People pay people to solve problems. People pay people to, grow their organizations. Now, staying on one skill set is not enough. You need to do what? Constantly invest in education, in improving your skill set. Now, that isn't the only area you need to invest in. You need to also invest in business education. That you are in paid employment does not mean that you can't start your own business one day. It does not mean that you cannot also rise within the same organization to become the manager, the overhead manager. So always think outside the box. For you to become a manager in a fashion outfit, in a fashion house, in a fashion business, you need to understand the business of fashion and apply the lessons in your organization. So if you invest in sales education, if you invest in customer retention, if you invest in branding, bring it to the table. So we know here you came in as a fashion illustrator, you came in as a pattern drafter, you came in as a tailor, you came in as a designer, you came in as a cutter. But does not mean that you have to limit yourself to that. You need to do what? Invest in other skill areas that continually makes you reverent, makes you indispensable to the organization you are working with. That is how to grow. Having said that, let's move to the second area, in which you can increase your income. When your existing, your current pay package can no longer meet your needs. For example, you're working in a fashion house and they're paying you 70,000 naira, and they increase your salary to 100,000 naira, and you're feeling cool, and suddenly you realize that you have to get married, you have to get a new appointment, you have to get a new a new facility, a new apartment. Yes, you need to get a new phone. You have needs, you have family, to cater to. You have your siblings to contribute to, family functions to attend and stuff. And you realize that the 100,000 that you thought was enough was no longer enough to meet your needs. What do at such moments? You don't give up. No. You don't give up, or you don't try to look for increase in salary. Let me tell you what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. He is one of my virtual mentors, so to speak, because I buy his books and I read his books and watch his videos, to get guidance in business growth. Now, if you are in my case, if you are in my shoes, I would like you to learn what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. He said, when the salary you are being paid is no longer capable of meeting your need, that is the time to start a side hustle. Hope you heard me right. When the income you are earning in the facility, in the organization you are working with right now is no longer enough to meet your need, that is the time to start a side hustle. That is not necessarily the time to jump from that job to look for another job elsewhere where you'll be paid a bigger pay package. That is not bad for you to jump from one organization to the other, because on this space, on this table that I'm shaking right now, I have people that run businesses, right? I have people in the paid employment with them, and I have people that are in paid employment working with the same organization. And both of you, the staff and the boss, you are watching this Instagram live and this Facebook live at the same time. So I know I'm shaking some tables, but then everybody will be all right. Last. Now this is the deal. If you have an opportunity to get a bigger pay package, bigger pay package elsewhere, and you done the interview and you are called up, when you tell your boss in your current organization, I would like to leave, and they know they need you, that they need you like they need air to breathe, my dear, they will sit down with you to renegotiate your working conditions. At that point in time, you can dictate what you want. For example, you want to downgrade to a part-time job while maintaining your whole salary and still deliver the same quality that you were always delivering, beforehand, and then you are good to go. Let me give you an example. See, I run a virtual office system. My client relationship manager is based in Kaduna. My content manager is based in Warri. I'm in Lagos. Now we have an event coming up in September. They ready to run on Wrapped conference. Now I have to hire ad hoc staff to work with me in Lagos. But does it stop the manager in Kaduna from performing her duties? No. What about the content manager in Warri from performing her duties? No, it doesn't stop. In fact, they are increasing their earnings. In my organization, I don't know if you guys have noticed, every Friday we are posting Auntie Shade's series. That is a series of animations that is built around a core character called Shade. So Shade is one of us. She's our virtual staff. So she's out there, teaching sound business lessons, in an animated world. And she's always online every Friday. The person that did Shade's animation is our content manager. She called me up last month and was like, Coach, I have developed my animation skills. See what I came up with. And she sent me a video and I was like, wow. And then I was like, let's sit down and come up with a series. Every week we'll be releasing a new video about a character representing our organization who happened to be Shadi. She did all of the character design and what have you, and she picked important lessons from the content she is extracting from our Fashion 6 Business School courses, coaching programs and classes. The striking points, she extracts them and we turn them into animation just to teach people, and that way we are building our brand every week. It doubled our income within the organization just by adding that animation skill to our content curation skill. Content means she's extracting the classes we teach on WhatsApp and the other platforms and edits them into ebooks, into Word document files and the like, presentations and the like, that we can also repurpose our blog posts, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and what have you. So that is Chibu's are working with me to do what? Do content curation as well as animation. Now she's indispensable. I can't let her go. Now I told her, this is what we'll do. You are going to start your own side also around your animation skills, and then I'll market you, and then we'll split profit. Is that a good deal? So that's what I'm trying to point out for the employed fashion professional who wants to rise fast. Now, if you're in that space, you need to continually develop what I said, technical skills. That means you need to develop the skills for which you were employed. Number two, you need to continue to develop new skills to attach with the ones that you already have, so that you are now broadened in your horizons of knowledge, and skill sets that you can deliver on. And while you do that, you also need to invest in business education, because the people that are employed and promoted to become managers in organizations, right, they are the people who have business sense, people who can manage a business while the boss is away. So your skill sets can make you an employed professional on a level, but cannot always elevate you in the corporate structure, the organizational structure of your fashion company that you work for. So having said that, I said the next area in which you can increase your income, right, within your space as an employed fashion professional, is to look for ways to monetize the skill that you are being paid salary for. Simple. And by that I mean start a side also. Take a look at this. You are working as a fashion instructor in a fashion school. You won't be there 24/7. No. You are working as a pattern drafter in a fashion house. You won't be there for 24/7. You can as well work on the weekends to generate commercial patterns for fashion designers who don't want to sew clothes, who don't want to make clothes, who want to go into ready to wear, and you are good. And you have started something as a side also. While your day job is taking care of the bills, now your side also is guaranteeing your future until such a time that you can stand on your own and be your own boss. That is how you grow. Now, the problem in our own part of the world here, I'm based in Nigeria, for those of us that are not in Nigeria, the problem we have here is that everybody wants to be their own boss from day one. And we have a lot of broke fashion designers on the streets of Lagos and across the country, which is bad. On an average street, you could see up to 3 or 4 fashion designers setting up small cubicle shops. That's an image of poverty. Sorry to say, it's an image. I'm not sorry to say again. It's an image of poverty. Everybody wants to be their own boss, but they don't have any requisite skills in business or fashion that would help them to survive. Because when you start business, you would first need to survive before you can thrive, and then you can do what? Expand. That is how it is. Please, if you don't understand this, don't jump into entrepreneurship, because you will get burnt. Good. Having said that, side hustle is the second option I have given us regarding how you can earn extra stream of income within the quadrant of an employed fashion professional. Now, the third one, I can't remember for the life of me, the third way by which you can start inside of. Okay, I think I remember. It's going to lead us to the second point that we are in. Okay, so the third, what did I say now? The third option you have for increasing your income and creating multiple streams of income as an employed fashion professional is to become a contract worker whilst starting your business in full. I said you need to start as an employed staff in a fashion house, in a fashion outfit, in a fashion firm, whatever type it is, whether it's a fashion school, whether it's a fashion business coaching firm like mine, or it is a garment factory, or maybe it's a fashion house. Yes. So whatever the organization you work for takes, what matters is that you are in paid employment. You are receiving the basic salary, but your life is not restricted to that. You are developing your skill set, in the particular area you are employed as, either as a tailor, either as a cutter, either as a fashion designer or pattern drafter and the likes. That said, you can now upgrade yourself also in the aspect of adding additional skills to the one that you already have. When you add these additional skills, it now makes you a versatile employee that can serve multiple roles. You become indispensable. Now, when you do this, you will be able to command a higher pay package. You can go and apply to other organizations, and then when they call you up and they give you a good offer, you can tell your boss, in case you enjoy where you're working with presently, you can tell them, hey guys, I'm leaving. And then wait for them to go berserk, wait for them to turn on their panic button and say, guy, you can't go now, baby, you can't go now, let's talk now. Let's analyze this thing together. How much do you want? How do you want to work? How can we retain? And that gives you the leverage to tell them what you want. And I said that when your salary gets to a peak where your needs have met up with your income, it's not the time to look for another higher paid job, because a higher paying job means longer working hours. So instead, you need to start looking at starting your own side also around the skill sets you've been gathering. Imagine you already have attended Fashion 6 basic coaching program, the coaching program that we run in my organization, and you now understand how to acquire customers, you know how to retain them. You apply these lessons in the current organization you are working with. You are rising along the corporate ladder, and at the same time you have started your side also. Wouldn't it be lovely? Wouldn't that be lovely? You already have experience, right? And then you are now bringing to bear in your side also the experience you've gathered. And as you do that, your income starts rising in your side also, until such a time that your income is equal or more than your current salary. That is the safest time for you to leave paid employment and become fully self-employed. If you don't want to become fully self-employed, then you can now change your role from being full-time through to part-time to now becoming a contract staff. Now you are more or less like a consultant for your former employers, and this gives you the liberty to now push your own business while there is still streams of income coming from your last place of employment. And you can even have little jobs coming here and there from different organizations that you are working for as independent, as an independent worker, as an independent consultant, as an independent staff. These are the liberties, the dynamics you can play with. So rather than just jumping to start your own business, perhaps sometimes you may need to figure out what I've just shared with you and look into starting as an employed fashion entrepreneur. Now, what you would have noticed that I graduated the progress that you can make from being an employee who has no idea of other ways by which they can make money other than their salary, to now figuring out your strengths and then starting a side also along with your day job, and upgrading to a point where the income you are making from your side also equals to or surpasses the salary you are being paid, and that gives you the freedom to do what? Leave the job with an option of working with them on contract basis. And when you do that, you would have safely transitioned from an employed fashion professional to a self-employed fashion entrepreneur. Ain't that lovely? Wow. I need someone to help me out with the time so that we know how many minutes we've spent, because Instagram live shuts down after 1 hour. So I want to know where we are. So you may see me, trying to put my hands on the screen to check the time. Okay, it's 6:41 here. So we got 19 minutes to spare. Yeah, the next 19 minutes we are going to be blowing apart the self-employed fashion entrepreneur space. Now, let me consult my notes so that I can take us in stride, regarding the self-employed fashion entrepreneur space. Well, I didn't know I would talk so much about the employed fashion professional space. Well, I figured there are a lot of us out there that are better off working in fashion houses than starting our own gigs right now. Unfortunately, because of bad advice we get from people around us who don't even know their left hand from their right hand, that many of us are stuck. Yeah, so I believe this would be a saving grace for somebody out there. So now for the employed fashion professional, wow, I have 2 talking points that I need to share with us, and they are this: one, you have two roles. When you are a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, you have two roles that you are playing at the same time. You are an entrepreneur and you are a business manager. You are playing two roles. Now, as an entrepreneur, you are like a cowboy looking for opportunities, looking for the quick sales, looking for creating products that people want to buy, specializing in an area there's a high demand for, and then you are growing your customer base. And you grow it to such a point that the demands of the customers, the volume of work that starts coming in, require that you need to calm down and put structures in place. As a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, you usually start on your own as your own boss. Now, for those of us who are in paid employment, who have this idea of employing people to work for us while you are in your day job, you employ people to run your office for you, my dear, you're a disaster waiting to happen. If you're in that space, please, you need to look into it very closely. Except you have a sound business manager who is trustworthy and loyal. Well, I don't know how you can find that, but if you can find someone like that, good for you. Beyond that, you are playing with fire. You are not there to oversee how your organization is running on a day-to-day basis and you want it to run fast. No. If you are in paid employment and you want to become self-employed, start a side also your own business. Please, you need to look for a business model that doesn't require you to show up before things can run smoothly. You need to do the kind of business that doesn't require too much physical attention. One of them is ready to wear. Yeah, you outsource your production to a garment factory. During the weekend, you can come up with your designs and sketches, right? And then you outsource to the garment factory. You can use the weekends to visit with the garment factory to assure of quality. And then the fabric sourcing, you can outsource that and get a good return. And then they do the production and you focus on online marketing to deliver. Then you have a delivery company like GIG Logistics or DHL. If you have to work with DHL or GIG Logistics, at best, I think you need to register as a business. So business registration is important. That means having a registered business will help you. If you have a registered business and you approach DHL, I think their bills around Nigeria is like 1,000 to 1,500, per for the regular, kilogram in terms of sizes that you could ship per time. But then imagine you're in Lagos and then you have customers in Abuja, in Enugu, in Port Harcourt, who are placing orders with you to make clothes for them, either as a bespoke tailor or ready-to-wear person, but best as a ready-to-wear person, considering that we are talking about people who are in paid employment but want to run their own businesses. Now, what you need to do is register with DHL, like I said, and get good rates. And then you can ship to customers across the country, and you are keeping tabs on your phone while at work without disturbing your workflow at work, because of your enterprise resource planning systems that you have in place. So we get to that when we get to fashion business owner space, because the thin line between the fashion business owner and the self-employed fashion entrepreneur is not very thick. The line is very thin. Really, it's just about understanding systems and how to set them up. So if you are self-employed, you are first an entrepreneur and then you're a business manager. You are an entrepreneur because you are starting with a hustle. It's a hustle, please. It's a hustle. I hope you're hearing me well. It's a hustle. And like, if you're in the fashion designing space, because most of my clients are fashion designers, right? Please, your startup cost is very low if you're into bespoke tailoring. If you're into ready to wear, with 100,000, you are good to go. One of the supporters of our forthcoming forthcoming ready to wear conference on September 19 in Ikeja, Lagos. One of our supporters, who is supporting the project, Afri Apparel NG. They're on Instagram. Yeah, they have some promo going on for 100k for people to sign up. With 100k you get, I think, 35 units of ready to wear, outfits that you can now push on your Facebook shop. Or maybe if you have quick sell app, you can create a digital catalog and you use that to market your product. And then you have a GIG logistics to come and pick your product. If you are targeting Lagos, for example, you can sign up with OPay or GoCarda to come and pick the product and deliver for you. And you're good to go. Okay, well that's not for tonight, but you've heard something that you could apply, right? Good. I like sharing ideas. That's what makes me, get in my groove. I love sharing ideas that are practical, that can get people results. So, having said that, when I said you're an entrepreneur, right, you are coming up with wonderful ideas of products, of systems, of strategies, marketing strategies, products that you can push out and get people to order and buy from you, and it's very interesting as you are receiving the alerts on your phone. But when you grow to a point where as the orders that you are getting, you can no longer manage them. And how do you know? Your health begins to break down. Because you suddenly find out that you are stressed almost every day. Because the volume of work that you are getting, you don't have the mental capacity, you don't have the energy levels to meet up. At that point, you need to activate the business manager in you. And that is why I brought up two aspects that you need to really focus on if you are a self-employed fashion entrepreneur who doesn't want to die working hours and having little to show for it. Because the next step from being a self-employed fashion entrepreneur is to be a fashion business owner. You don't want to miss on that opportunity. That opportunity is chisel. If you can become a fashion business owner. Well, that's why I'm here as a business coach, right? And that's why I created our Fashion Sales Business School to help you along your journey so you can rise. Now, that said, you need to perfect your skill in cash flow generation and management. I'll be either cash flow generation and management. You need to perfect your skill in that space if you're a self-employed fashion entrepreneur. If you don't perfect your skill in that area, you will be broke. You will suffer financially. You will think the fashion industry is for poor people. You will feel that this industry cannot produce millionaires. And when people like me say that we coach people to become millionaires in the fashion industry, you go like, is it possible? Can it happen? I'm trying to check something, please. Oh, it will go like, is it possible? Can it be possible? Sorry, I'm trying to turn on the headlights that we have attached. Yes, I forgot to turn on the headlight, so you guys can see my face. Hope I'm not too bad. My beds are looking awesome, right? Good. Now let's continue. Please, I plead with you. You don't need to burn yourself out. You need to understand that as a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, cash flow generation and management is very key. Aside from cash flow generation and management, you need to also learn to build teams. Your team building skill must be top-notch. And I have my reason for saying this. I'll get into it in a bit, right? The first of them is that cash flow is king. Yeah. When you are not generating cash, how would you be able to reinvest in your business for you to grow? It's not possible. You need to know how to generate cash flow. And that's where the concept of customer acquisition comes in. Getting customers for your business. And for you to acquire customers, you need to perfect your marketing, your sales, and customer service skills. Yes, because customer acquisition is a combination of a triad. And the triad are marketing. Marketing is about getting your word out there so people can know you exist. Because a business that, thank you very much, AK Christabel, I'm just in the group, right? A business that nobody knows about is a dead business. It's dead on arrival. Only your family and friends know you. Who that won't help? We help. And then you say you do this thing that I see on Facebook everywhere, every time. My family and friend, they are not paying me well. What do I do about that? And I go like, You are broke. Yes, you are mentally broke. And how do I mean by you're mentally broke? Your mind is not capable of coming up with your marketing strategy. You don't have, your mind cannot draw up marketing strategies to attract the kind of people that you desire, to pay you the kind of money you desire to make. Now, in this country, I've seen people charge 500,000 for fashion outfit too, fashion product too. So don't tell me that there's no money out there. There's money. You just don't know how to attract the money. If you are wise and you like yourself, you need to join my coaching programs so that you can do what? Know how to attract money. Please, in fact, let me do a quick marketing just to demonstrate to you, the importance of marketing. After this Instagram live and this Facebook live, please, for those of us on Instagram, you can go into my bio. You will see Linktree. My Linktree, our link. Tap on it. It will pop down some pop up for you some options. Please click on chat with Laoyi Curtis or chat with me. Yes, on WhatsApp. Chat with me on WhatsApp so that you can come and chat with me on WhatsApp and we can sort out your business. Yeah, so that's a quick marketing. And if you are based in Port Harcourt, please, you need to click the link on my Linktree link. You need to click the link that says my first million in fashion Port Harcourt. Yeah, my first million in fashion Port Harcourt. We are having our training there on September 7. Yeah, I'll be traveling to Port Harcourt, to teach my beloved fashion entrepreneurs how to make their first million in fashion. If you are based in Port Harcourt, go for that. If you're on Facebook, you need to visit my page, Laoyi Curtis. You will see it there on my website. You'll see Linktree//Laoyi Curtis. Yeah, click on it. You see all the links I'm talking about. We need to sort you out. You need to know how to make money. So let me recap. If you're in the fashion space, the self-employed fashion entrepreneur space, you need to perfect your skills in cash flow generation and management. Cash flow generation has to do with you knowing how to market your brand, market yourself, market your products, right? And also generate sales. Now, when you want to do marketing, how do you do it, ba? This is how you do it, Ko. I've used Yoruba, English, and Hausa, appellatives. Okay, now this is it. You need to first know that you need to generate visibility. Now, this Facebook live I'm doing here, and for those of us on Instagram, this Instagram live I'm running them simultaneously, is a form of visibility for myself. I only just got on Instagram, I've been on Facebook the whole time. Now, since 2017, I've been doing Facebook and we've done a lot there. Now we're on Instagram trying to, understand the terrain and groove together with our Instagram, fashionistas. My Facebook people, I've not forgotten you. So we are together in this, right? We rise together. The interesting thing is this. What I'm doing here is creating visibility for me. For some of us, you are like judging me like, oh, this guy makes sense. For some of us, you're like, this guy is stupid. He doesn't have sense. I didn't talk to him. Either way, I'm creating visibility. You got to learn how to create visibility for your business. Now, as you create visibility, people get to know you. Then you can now do what? Create offers. You can now do things to generate leads. Leads are potential customers, people that reach out to you and like, oh, I like what you're doing. Can you make this for me? Can you create this for me? I would like to buy this. I like to buy that. Do you sell this? Do you sell that? When you have people coming to you, making such requests, now you are generating leads. When you generate leads, that means you can follow up on them with WhatsApp messages, with video, with WhatsApp calls, with phone calls, with SMS and what have you, even requests to meet them in person. Offer free consultations and the like, so you can generate sales conversations. Sales conversations means you are talking with people who are interested in what you do with the hope of converting them and with the intention of also making sure they are converted. Simple. Okay, that said, when you generate cash, right, that means you are making sales. If you are not making sales, there is no cash flow generation. Simple. But when you are generating the cash and you don't know what your profits are, you cannot even say how much you have in the bank, then that means that you are messing up in the aspect of cash flow management. Now, next week, when I come back next week for our third class, I'm going to delve deep into cash flow generation and cash flow management, because it is necessary for you if you are a fashion business owner. It is a core skill, but for a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, you need to just understand that you have to be at the top of your game when it comes to generating cash flow. Now there's positive cash flow, there's negative cash flow. Positive cash flow means that the amount of money coming into your business is more than the amount going out at any point in time, which means that you'll be able to have reserves in your balance sheet. Yes, I mean there are many people who say they've made sales of 1 million. I ask them how much you have in your account, they have 100,000, and they're wondering where the money went. That's poor cash flow management. Right? Good. Okay. So having said that, right, the other thing I want us to please quickly look at is team building. Please, when you are self-employed, you're a specialist, you're an expert. We know you worked with an organization prior to being self-employed, and then we know that you are very good. But this time around, you are not waiting for a paycheck, you are looking for the paycheck. In fact, there are people waiting on you for paychecks. When you are self-employed, you are your own boss, you are your own staff, you are the first staff of your organization. Now, when you are into proper self-employment, you will realize that oftentimes you are not able to define what your salary is. You may not even be able to pay a salary for yourself because you are trying to stay profitable. That's what I meant by starting out and being surviving. When you are a self-employed fashion entrepreneur, you started your fashion business. The first 6 months is about surviving. Like it's real also. You need to learn how to generate profit in every sale that you make. Yes, when you're starting out, that's how the real also goes. I mean, the real fashion entrepreneurs who understand that entrepreneurship is about finding problems that you can tap into and make healthy profits in. Yeah. So from the word go, you need to be making the profit. Now, when you make profit, there would always be demands on the finances. Yeah, because your business is just starting. When you're starting a business, you don't expect your business to pay your bills. You will be paying the bill of the business until such a time that the business can stand on its own and start paying your own bills. That's how it is. That's why the entrepreneurship game is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted though. I'm trying to speak Queen's English, but my tongue is turning. Okay, having said that, now this is the last bit I need to share with us, right? When you start on your own, you can now start bringing in people to fill in roles that you are not very strong at within your organization. Yes, I can't break it down in detail, but you need to just get pen and paper and make a list of the core activities that you engage in every day for your business to run smoothly. For example, getting on social media and posting every day. For example, doing WhatsApp marketing. Yeah. For example, engaging in dress evangelism to promote your business, especially if you are in the apparel industry, then conducting trainings if you are in the training space, maybe WhatsApp training, Telegram training, Facebook lives, Facebook trainings, making videos and the likes. Whatever activity within your business that you need to do for your business to generate the sales, or to fulfill orders placed by customers, you need to please get people on your team that can fill those roles, while you focus mainly on the aspects that you are perfect in. That's how to grow. You need to raise a team, and if you must raise a team, you need to project into the future. One thing I did in my organization that helped me, we may talk about it next week, is I first worked on generating a savings in reserve, that can pay 3 months salary of a new staff that I bring on board, such that when I bring somebody on board, I'm not under pressure to pay them at the end of the month. Rather, I have a reserve from which I can draw funds from and pay them at the end of the month. This helps me to run my business with a cool, calm, and collected mien. That is, I can focus on growth and helping the staff develop their skill on the job, rather than looking for how to make ends meet so that I can pay salary at the end of the month. These are some of the things that you need to learn. Thank you very much. I've been given 24 seconds to go, so we're about to wrap up. Today I've talked about the self-employed fashion entrepreneur space and the employed fashion professional space. Now that you've learned this, you need to hit my what do you call that thing, bio, and then do what, click the links there. Thank you, God bless you, have a wonderful day ahead. Thanks on Facebook too. Wow.